Les bonjour. We actually haven't come up with the name for our audience, but welcome to Logged Off Podcast, episode something. At this point, I really don't know.
We'll figure it out.
we brought a guest, the famous, the talented Anna soon-to-be Shields. Okay. Woo!
He liked it, so he put a ring on it.
He did, and a real ring, not a ring pop.
Amen. I would have accepted a ring pop though. Let's be real.
That's funny. So, how's it feel, Anna? How's it feel to be in an actual pod? Like, this is...
Oh, on a podcast?
Yeah, look at this, super professional. We got the mics over your head.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of when, like, I sometimes would go on, like, radio stations and stuff. And it makes me nervous like that. Because I see actual, like, mics and I'm
it's
like...
It's the fact that you've been in radio stations, though.
Yeah, my baby's famous,
Not
I've been saying that from the jump.
Well, I wouldn't talk about myself. I would always go with someone who was doing something, but they would always have me go on so I could talk about, like, whatever it was that they were going, like, doing, if that makes sense.
That's crazy, because that's exactly what we're doing here. We're here for you to talk about what you've been doing. All right?
Great.
So,
that is good.
Juwan here blessed us with, I guess, his perspective and how, like, y'all's relationship was formed up. So we kind of want to hear your perspective, and I'd like the audience to kind of get to understand more of the female side of things and all that.
So you want to know how it was formed?
Yeah, like from the beginning, like how'd you meet, how'd you feel, how'd you know he's the one?
All right, real talk. So
I'm on.
We met February 20th of last year, which is 2022. We met at a mutual friend at the time at her birthday party. And so we meet, and when I first saw him, the thing is, like, I really had to, can I go really far back?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. Okay. So my roommate at the time, Nadine, she was playing an audio message earlier that day while we were waiting to go to this birthday party, right? And so she was playing it, and she was like, oh, this is my friend Juwan, and I was hearing it, and they were talking about anointing oil. And I was like, who's that guy? Because he just sounded so wise. I was like, oh my gosh, the things he's saying is just, it's spot on. Like, that's how I believe, that's how I think. And just the way he was talking about how just his perspective on people making things way too religious and just things with anointing oil, it was really, really good. And I was like, girl, who is that? But not like that. I was just asking her, like, who is talking like that? And is it possible that someone talking like that is actually our age, like in our age range? Like, that's actually so crazy. She's like, yeah, like, he's my friend. We hang out all the time. Da, da, da. So I'm like, okay, that's so cool. So we get to the party, and then on the way there, I'm like, is that guy coming tonight? She's like, yeah. But I wasn't thinking of it like that. I'm just like, whoa, that'd be so cool to actually, like, meet the guy that was talking like that. And so that was my very first impression of Juwan. Without even seeing his face, like, that was my very first impression. I was like, whoa, okay, wisdom. And I was like, wisdom. And so he comes in, and I remember sitting on the couch. I was sitting here, and then Nadine was sitting right next to me. We were all tight because it was a small couch. He comes in, and I look at her, and I'm like, is that the guy? Is that the guy from the audio message? And she's like, yeah, that's him. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. But he had, like, all these balloons in his hand. Like, he was busy because, like, he was friends with some of them. So I didn't go say what's up right away. But when I did get up to go say hi to him, all I did was shake his hand. That's all I was trying to do, was just shake his hand.
That's funny.
There was nothing in my, like, physical or flesh that was like, oh my gosh, look at this, like, handsome, just wow. Like, no, I was just literally just going up to shake his hand. I wasn't thinking anything of it.
It was a respect thing.
Yeah, just a respect thing, because I thought it was really cool to be able to shake the hand of the person that I heard on the audio message. And so, but what was really cool about that day was when I dance, like with my dance crew or by myself in a music video, I'll wear my warrior necklace that I have. But I always take it off because I want to make a distinction of when I wear that necklace. It's only when I dance or whatever. And I felt like that day, that weekend, I had the performance or whatever it was, some music video, and I felt like God was like, don't take it off. And I'm like, why? Like, I always take it off because I only want to wear it when I dance. And so he had me keep it on. And that night, he was wearing a prayer warrior shirt. anytime I see the word warrior, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my warrior. And so when I saw that, I was like, whoa, I really like your shirt. And then it was in that moment where I was like, I like your shirt. And then I pointed to my necklace. I was like, that's really cool. Like, that's so cool that the guy that I thought was so wise is wearing this warrior shirt. But I wasn't thinking anything of it. So we didn't talk at all after shaking hands. It was literally just like, hi, I'm Anna.
Nice to meet you,
Wow.
I'm Juwan.
I really like your shirt.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wow, that's cool.
All right, well,
I'll be
it was,
recreating
but it
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
but it was like awkward because we're all in this house and the house is kind of small, so it's just like, bye. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, see you, like, whatever, like, okay. So then later on, it just ended up being that he sat next to me on the couch, and then we just ended up talking and chatting, and then finding out, he was just asking me questions, I was asking him questions, just small talk, right? Then he found out
I didn't think we sit next to each other.
It was when Braden was running around.
Oh, at that point.
We
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
tight next to each other. He was just kind of on one side. I was kind of in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a moment where everyone was just fellowshipping. And then, yeah, we were just talking. We found out we went to the same church. We're a part of the same dance crew. And, like, that was really cool and wild. And then there was something that he said. And he says to this day he didn't mean it like this. But there was a little boy there kind of running around everywhere. And it was making my food kind of, like, fall over.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he said, hey, that's not how you treat a pretty lady. Like, you have to be gentle with a pretty lady. And I was like, oh, like, that was very nice. You know what I mean? Like, that was kind.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe he thinks I'm pretty. Just because my mind, you know, I'm like, maybe he just thinks I'm really pretty. But whatever, you know, I've heard that before. Like, you know,
I
it's
didn't
just
even know
like,
how she looked, to be real. I ain't even gonna cap.
right. He
I
didn't
just
even
feel
know.
like God's creation is pretty, so I was trying to teach the young man.
Right, but that caught my attention a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because he said it really, I knew that he was saying it respectfully, not in like a weird way, you know?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't looking at me, and I knew that at the time.
Juwan's not weird at all.
Juwan's not weird at all.
You heard it here first, y'all. Juwan's not weird.
On the other hand, though, you know, I'm a different story.
Right.
Nah, you're not weird either. You're unique.
Juwan's a little weird.
I'm
No, I'm joking.
different.
I'm joking.
You heard it first here, folks.
Don't let that one
Ah.
But anyway.
Excuse me, guys. I have a little cough. So after that, I saw him at church. That next Tuesday, I said, what's up? He pulled up to church looking so nice. I remember I'm like, oh, so that's how he comes. He comes correct. Because he had a white button-down shirt and, like, dress pants, but he was coming from his job. And I didn't know he was coming from his job. I was just like, oh, that's how he just comes correct. And, like, I'm used to that because of the church I grew up in. Pentecostal, everyone just likes to dress nice. It wasn't a dress code. Everyone just really liked to dress nice and present themselves well. So I was like, oh, my goodness. Like, but I wasn't thinking anything of him like that. Not at all. And so after that, I decided to invite him to my birthday party because I was like, he was so cool that night. My birthday was only less than a month later, on March 6th. I was like, you know what, I'll invite him because he was really cool. So I asked my roommate, excuse me, for his number. And then from then on, I had his number. And it was just super small talk. Hey, can you come to my birthday? He was like, yeah. And here's what really threw me off guard. Later on, he asked me if I needed help with my birthday party. And I was like, why is this random man offering to help me with my birthday party? Like, that's way too nice for me. You know, like, that's way too kind for me. And, like, he's not expecting anything in return. He's just like, what can I do to get this, like, a weight off your shoulder to make your birthday really smooth? What can I do? And I was like, like, nothing really. Like, it's okay. But he kept insisting. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to receive this blessing. And so he literally cooked a whole meal for everyone. And it was how many people? 30, maybe 40 at the
Her
time.
birthday party was more lit than any of my birthday parties ever been.
Ever? Dang, man.
So let's say it was just like
You had
30
30
something.
people at a birthday party?
No. I don't even celebrate my birthday like that, bro.
Right.
So it was, let's say it was like 30 some people. He cooked that day, and I just noticed that he went above and beyond. Like, he knew the color scheme of my birthday, so when he got me this gift card, he made it pink and gold on purpose. Like, I just knew. He didn't tell me any of this. I just knew that he was doing everything so intentionally, and he was paying attention to detail, which really just blew my mind. It kind of just took me aback because I'm like, I never really experienced that from a man who just doesn't want anything in return, who's just trying to actually be kind. And I remember telling my sister and mom about that, and I was like, guys, I don't know, like, what if he likes me? I don't know, but I'm just gonna leave it. But what really shook me even more was during my birthday time, 2 days before my birthday, he sent me very long messages just encouraging me. Nothing wild, he was just encouraging me. He texted me again on my birthday to encourage me, and then wrote a whole handwritten, the card was full, guys, like it was a card this big. He filled the whole thing with another encouragement in there. They're all completely different. Then in person at my birthday, he starts encouraging me with his words, and I was like, whoa, like I don't think anyone has ever encouraged me in that way. So then from then on, I was just like, who is this guy? And then I had even asked God at one point, I was like, God, if you want us to hang out, like, let him be okay with it. Because after the birthday party, I called Juwan, because I was just like Juwan, seriously, thank you, because I never felt so, like, that made me feel so loved. The way he was just, his whatever love he was trying to pour out right there, I was feeling it. So I'm like, who are you? I just want to get to know who you are. What's your story? Like, how are you like this? How are you around this age? And you are the way that you are. And so I was like, would you want to, like, meet up at all? He was like, yeah. And then he made it a couple of days later. So we met up at this church called Gate City. I got there like 2 or 3 hours early because...
Which Gate City is cool because, like, it's just 24 hours. And and they're, like, 24. There's always worship. It's based off of, I think, a psalm, like, or something like that. But it's nice. Like, let there always be worship. In God's house. So
it was a perfect place to meet. Huh?
It's a dope spot.
Right, exactly. It's a very dope spot. So it's a good place to meet because, you know, it's in public and it's the Lord's house. So it's like, okay, let's go. So we meet there, and I get there early, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm feeling like just kind of nervous and scared, and I'm just like, what if this is the guy? What if this is, like, my future husband? Like, and I just started getting really scared. My stomach was hurting, not in like a bad way, but in just a way where they say, what is the thing that they say? Like, when you know, like, you'll get that feeling. It is nothing you can describe. It's literally something that you just experience. So when you know, you actually really do know, with the Lord's help. So,
I'm just kidding.
Like, so what? I'm there praying because I'm like, God, I want every word to come out of my mouth that's led by you, God. I don't want it to be me, yada, yada, yada. Then he calls me close to the time, and he's like, I just got into a car accident. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this must be a sign. I don't know. Like,
car was like, totaled, y'all.
Totaled. And I was like, just go. Like, just go home. It's okay. And then he's like, but how long have you been there? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, just go. And he's like, no, like, I'm making it to there. He's like, I will be there right after this, okay? And I was like, okay. He's like, okay, you be safe. I'm like, you be safe? You know, like, what? And so we hang up, and he shows up, and I was just like, oh, I was so nervous. And then I remember that night I brought him some spaghetti because I didn't know if I did know he was coming from work, so I was like, maybe I'll just bring him the spaghetti that my roommate made. I don't know if it was good or not. I think he was just being nice, saying that it was good, but I don't actually.
It was alright.
It was alright. It's because I didn't make it. It was my roommate.
I was gonna say, did you even? Let's
be real. I didn't make it. After that day, let me not go too quick, but that night, talking to him and the way that we spoke and the way he just kind of set up boundaries in place already and everything, I just knew I was looking at my future husband, and I was really scared. I was just really, really scared. And so from then on,
there was a lot of like, oh wow, that's like my dad. And I would feel like God would tell me to say, like, he was like, tell her your favorite animal. I'm like, okay, like, my favorite animal is an eagle, and she's like, my dad's favorite animal is an eagle, and I'm like, all right. And then he's like, tell her your birthday. I'm like, all right. Or maybe I think he either told me that or. No, I think he told me that. I think he was just like, tell her your birthday, and it's like, oh yeah, my birthday's June
22nd. That's my father's birthday. I'm like, that's so crazy. That's no coincidence. It's all the Lord. I'm like, that's crazy. But sorry, bro, I was just.
And it's interesting because she was saying that her dad's ministry, right? It was their dad's ministry, right? With that would use that scripture about, they're
Isaiah
walking
40,
that
31.
grow faint. Yeah, mounting up on wings like eagles. That's part of why I like eagles a lot. It's just because of the scriptures.
Nah.
I'm barely in Deuteronomy.
But there's just a lot of like moments like that, and also like when I was initially showing her that kindness, I called her out. I was like I feel like you're not. And it was weird because it was like supernatural. There was no reason for me to say it other than like God revealed it to me. But I was like telling her that she was not in a, like at that time she could not receive just kindness or like gifts or anything. She just would, I don't know. I guess maybe it was like it felt like it had to be transactional or something. I don't know, but
Right. I mean, he was spot on about it, and I was pretty open about it. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard for me to receive stuff like that. So after that day,
healing.
Amen.
For us.
Amen. So after that day, we, I guess, just decided to just be friends, but like intentionally be friends. After that day, I kind of just knew. I was like, okay, yeah, like we gotta get married one day. But it was still really scary. It was just really, really, really scary.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I got scared. How do you manage that? Like, if God reveals to you, this is your wife, this is your husband, it's like, wait, why not get married tomorrow then? Like, like how do you manage knowing that this is gonna be your husband?
Well, real quick on that point. I mean, when God highlighted her, like I told y'all in the last thing, like I was like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to be like, God did this, so that's what it means. It's like, bro, only God knows what God means. So like, why don't you ask him? But I know that night at Gate City, when there was a point where she was looking at me, and I was like, excuse me, why is she looking at me like that? I was like, why it look like she in love or something? And
I was not even trying to...
She yells with her eyes, bro. The way, I think I said this before, I think we were at Victory, and the way she was looking at you when you was talking, I was like, can I get that? Can I get that? What?
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I got nervous. I was like, I hope that she doesn't, because one thing that's happened to me, and well, to both of us in the past, is just that people would like be infatuated with us and like
the idea of us.
Yeah.
Just the idea.
Yeah, and like that was one thing that I felt like we identified with too, because like she was like talking about that, and I was like, or no, I think I mentioned that, and you were like, yeah, like that's happened to me too.
That stuff is tough.
But like I was nervous at first, and that's why I was like, God, like don't let this be one of those situations, because people, I feel like in the church it happens just as much as it happens in the world, where people would just kind of like meet, and then there's some type of attraction there, but they don't take the time to like sit and ask God what's what, because the flesh tries to take the wheel, the flesh tries to take the wheel.
Annoying.
But then you also have to like take that time to really like seek the Lord and see like, who is this person, like, right. And so we both got nervous. I feel like, well, I was nervous. I didn't know that she was thinking that though. I did have a thought though. I was like, what if I was like, could she be my wife? I was like, man, I can't think about that. That's how I was like, I shouldn't think about that, because I don't want to overthink it and be like, and then make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's a lot of discipline to like control yourself, knowing what's coming.
Right. Exactly.
Imagine Jesus knowing that he was gonna die. Like.
Oh yeah.
That pressure, like, oh snap, this is about to happen.
Yeah, but even with that, I wasn't that sure. You know what I mean? Okay. Jesus knew. Jesus knows everything. But so the way that like I managed that, because I know that I had never really felt that feeling before ever. I was just like, whoa, this feeling is foreign. What in the world is going on? And I knew, it was so weird. Like I knew that he wasn't looking at me like that, and I knew that he was trying so hard to just focus on God and just be like, whatever is going on is in God's hands. And so the way I managed it, because like I can't just when I met him, up and marry him the next day, even though I knew God put that unction in my spirit. You know what I mean? Because it would just be so different. It would be so different. That would be actually so wild. That would be so crazy.
I don't know whose story that is, but that's somebody's story.
Somebody's. But the way I managed it is the way, Juwan said it earlier. Like, I wanted my hands off the wheel. And I remember just crying to God. And I was like, God, like, I don't want to be, an idea anymore. And I feel like this guy is not looking at me as an idea. Because just being foreign and then just having the curly hair but pale skin. And, oh, she can dance. Oh, all this stuff. I was just like, I don't want to be an idea. And I just wanted all of my hands off of everything. And I was like, God, this cannot happen with me trying to put any control in. Because, I'm human. Sometimes I kind of, I'm going to just keep my pinky in that right there. I'll just keep my, my hand right there. But it's just not okay. It always messes up, even if I try to just think about it too much. So I gave it to God. That's what I did. I had to give it to God because I was just like, if I try to control something, I'm going to mess it up. So that's how I managed it.
And now we're here.
Now we made it.
3 days, bro.
3 days left? Really?
Yeah, not like
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday's the day. Today's what? Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, now we're here. After all that, we were just really good friends. But good friends with intention. You know what I mean? Like, he would pick me up. He invited me to a birthday party. I was already invited, but I was like, hey, are you going? He's like, yeah, I'll pick you up. Then he, picks me up, and I live an hour.
In a totaled car.
I live an hour away. I'm like, oh, my gosh, he's actually going to come an hour away to pick me up. He picks me up.
It was the CLK, right?
No. Birthday party.
It was a Honda.
The Accord.
The CLK.
It was a 1998 Honda Accord.
Oh my God.
Y'all, I had to use I guess you call it bungee. I can't think of the word right now, but I had to use this cord thing to clamp it down, to keep it held down. That's how ghetto this was. But I think I borrowed my mom's car a couple times.
Yeah, you did borrow your mom's car a couple times. Is our breath hotboxing this car?
Nah.
I left the car on this time, so you should be able to.
Do you want to? I was gonna ask. Do you want to turn it off or?
I'm just a little warm.
That's aiming towards the feet. If you don't want cold feet, I might want to switch it to the face.
If you don't want cold, I don't want cold feet. I don't like that saying.
Oh yeah.
I need warm feet. I need warm feet. I'm going and diving, getting married.
I'm about to dive in.
Oh my. Slide it.
Editing.
So after all that, Juwan asked me one day in his car. He was sitting right there. I was sitting here. It was like an ask, but more like a.
You want to be my girl?
More like. More like a tell. I'd be like, go back and rethink that. Go back and ask me again.
Yeah.
Ask me again. He didn't even ask me to be his girlfriend. He was just like, I would really like to move forward with you.
Dang.
In courtship, basically. I would really like to make this thing official. Because y'all need to know one thing. When I met him after that night at Gate City, I already started the unfollowing process of, unfollow. And I'm not talking about exes and stuff. They've been unfollowed. Just people that I'm like, oh, he's Christian, but so I'm gonna follow him. But really, it was just because I was thinking that person was looking good at the time. Right. I said, so I started.
I started already, and I don't got a girl.
Period. As you should, though. Protect your eyes, as you should. Protect your heart. So I already started that process, and then even now to this day, because I unfollowed so many accounts. Randomly an old account from years ago will pop up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was even still following that person. Yeah. And I'll just unfollow them, whatever. So after that, I was just like, OMG. Well, no, he asked me, he was like, what can I do? Is there, to move forward with you? How can I show you that I'm being very serious? I was like,
y'all, but
if you
real quick,
should have put a ring.
Real quick, let's give a little bit more context.
Okay, sorry.
So we would so I started this, I think, but I would send her a video, and then she would respond to my video with her own video, and we would it was sending videos. So
instead of voice messages.
Instead of a voice message or instead of doing FaceTime, we would just send a video so that when we had time, we could just have a conversation. But it was it was about cute. Whatever, and they would always end up being 10 to 20 minute long videos.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so long.
Yeah, and but there was like a lot of things that like we already agreed on. Like I would say they're more important than people realize. Like for instance, like the idea of like boundaries with the opposite sex. Like I remember one time, like one thing she did that like shook me was she was like, yeah, I'm supposed to go meet up with this like one of my friends for dinner. We had planned it for a long. She's like, how'd that make you feel? Oh, for breakfast, my bad. She's like, how would you feel? And I was like, what? And I was like,
we were not together yet.
Me this? And I still remember because I was at a park when she asked me this, and I was just like talking to her at a park or whatever, and I was like, what? Like, because I was waiting before my small group, and there's a park right there, and I was like, what? And I was like, I kind of like wasn't 100% because I was just like, bro, like we're not even together, so like I can't tell her like not to do that, you know what I mean? But I was just like, I mean, like I guess that's okay. Like I said it like that, and she was just like, really? Okay, because like I would not feel comfortable if
I wouldn't be comfortable if you went out with a woman by yourself.
And I was like,
I'm gonna let it be known.
Snap. So then I was just like, well, I was like, yeah, like I would prefer if you didn't. And then she was just like, okay, I'm gonna cancel. And I was like,
it was literally the night before. My friend had come into town, and it was literally the night before. Like he was literally trying to make the plans of like, wait, what's your address so I can go pick you up? Like it was like, it was happening that fast.
And he's an artist that's pretty well known, I would say.
Yeah.
And like that's very contrary to any experience I've had in the past, because in the past it would be like name and fame and money could like sway somebody, and it would just be like so annoying, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like men and women kind of have that thing. Like men, for a woman, for a lot of women, if a man has like power in some way, shape, or form, that's their thing. And then for men, if a woman has like the looks, you know what I mean, like or fame as well. And so it's one of those annoying things that I don't think believers should do, because then it becomes like a worldly competition game. Because then it's like, oh well, now I have this much money, now what? Or I have this much,
or influence.
Yeah.
It's a form of idolatry.
And then for women, that's where there's those insecurities come, where it's like, well, now I got this BBL and now my hair is and it's like, whoa, like it doesn't need to be that.
Right.
It's not a
ain't nobody want
whose hair is longest competition, or whose lashes are the most voluminous competition.
They're mine, by the way.
Mine
are the
have
most.
You
don't
seen
even.
Arfa's? Have you seen Arfa's eyelashes?
Dude, I promise you, they have nothing on his. But
I'm
but
sure
yeah.
Arfa's are popular.
So that's
not like, well.
Look.
His is like long and curly. So.
He's gonna fight you.
No, yours are pretty good.
But
I never paid attention to the eyelash.
That was one thing that stood out to me, was just in her beliefs. Like she's like, no, you shouldn't curse. No, you shouldn't listen to this type of music. You shouldn't watch these types of things. You shouldn't do this. And I was like, She's like, even down to the idea of alcohol. Like a lot of people want to debate, and you know what? Like y'all keep walking with God, but essentially like we are at the same mind that you should just stay away from it. Like why do it? But the fact that she like was reasoning in the same way was like a big sign. So that's why then I was like, yes, I would like to move forward. And I asked her, what would that look like? And she said,
well, you need to meet my parents. He's like, okay. And I'm like, you know where they are, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, San Diego. So then 2 days later, he sits me down at church. He sits me down. He says, I'm going to buy them. And then he buys them. I did have to contribute a little bit. I mean, come on. I got to give grace. I mean, he's literally about to drop, 2 bands just on the whole trip or whatever. And he's getting off of work. Now I'm making money. I was okay with contributing a little bit. I saw the heart behind it. I didn't have to remind him, tell him, nothing. He sat me down.
You shouldn't.
And was
for
like,
a godly man.
Amen, hallelujah. And so he sat me down when I saw that. And when he even proposed, it's not like he even needed me to do it. He literally just proposed the question. He was like, is there any way you can contribute this amount of money? He's like, you do not have to. It would be helpful, but you do not have to. So I need you ladies to know too, like there's also reality sometimes. It's not like he was just flying in this money and just like, woohoo, I have all this money. I saw his heart, and no one had ever spent that amount of time and money for me, ever. I was always the one in the past with my exes. I was always the one buying everything. Buying, just everything. It was so annoying. So that really moved me because it's not like he even needed my money. He just was like, it would really help, but it's an option for you. Then yeah, we went to go see my parents, and they were not too fond about the idea.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And to this day, they're working on it.
3 days before the wedding, they still got 3 extra days.
And
then we locked in. You know what I'm saying? They just gonna have to get used to me.
Get used to you. Oh, that's
They're
funny.
still working on it, but yeah.
No.
What else?
To that, Juwan brought up a pretty good point. It's like, you know, as a man, or at least for me, I would want to ask, because I want to be respectful. I want to ask the father for her daughter's hand, right? But then you're like, what if the dad says no? And I'm like, I'll probably still take the hand though. So it like kind of contradicts the whole trying to be respectful.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
Yeah, cause we had a whole conversation about that, me and her, cause she was like, I want you to ask my dad, and I was like, what? Like, obviously, like, I knew that people did that, but I didn't know that was like normal, like, or that was like cultural. And so we had a whole conversation about that, and she was like, well, I feel like it's respectful. And then that's when I like brought that point that I brought to him too. It's like, I don't feel like it's respectful, because I feel like respect is when you have a choice. But ultimately, like, you know, I told her, I was like, I'm gonna do it regardless if that's what you want. And what did he say the first time?
He said, I'll give you an answer in 3 days.
And then 1 day later said,
oh, he was like, no, you guys are doing this in the flesh. It was a whole story.
He basically was like, no. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, now he's gonna feel really respected.
Right.
See, after that conversation, I was like, then at that point, if I go up to the father, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, I will take your daughter's hand. I just want to let you know.
Right.
That's how it happened.
I'm gonna let you know. I want.
That's how it happened the second time
to
around.
your daughter.
Yep, that's how it happened the second time.
And I will commit to your daughter.
There's so much we're missing, because I feel like when people hear that, they're gonna be like, whoa, what's the story on that? Which we might have to do a different podcast for that.
We will. This is short form right now.
Okay, sweet, because that's a story. Because if y'all just want a brief kind of, you know, what kind of happened in our relationship, after the first time he tried to propose and ask my dad, that same week we broke up. We broke up. He broke up with me. And I was a wreck. And it only lasted like 2.5 weeks. He still checked on me every single day. So this is just like the super brief, like, he was on my phone every day. 2
weeks was wild.
But there was a good reason, though.
2.5 weeks feels like a lifetime. But I do think which is like so funny, because 2.5 weeks is not a long time, but it felt like a long time. I do think it helped us. I do think, like, I guess we needed that. I hate to say it, but also like just that, oh wait, I guess I really don't know what I have until it's gone type thing, because it just brought us back together stronger. I feel like, because we really realized it's like, no, like we really want to be in each other's lives. And, you know, he was asking God if he could be in my life again after that period of time. And then I was like, God, if he's not supposed to be in my life right now, like make me sick to like vomit. Like, I was like, God, make me so sick to my stomach that it's gonna cause me to puke. As he was asking me, he's like, will you be back in my life? He presented me all these roses. It was really sweet. After a dance rehearsal one night, it was so cute. But I was just like, God, if this is not supposed to happen, like, I need you to make it stop and make me throw up. Which is kind of a scary prayer to pray sometimes, you know, because, like, obviously my heart of hearts doesn't want that to happen. But I have so much, like, trust and faith in God that I would even pray that. But, yeah.
And I always gave God ways to stop things or
just have his way.
Yeah. Always invitations to the Lord. Oh, another thing, though, that was crazy when We went to San Diego. That was my first time in Cali. San Diego is beautiful. She didn't, she told me,
oh, here
you don't want to see LA.
They're gonna say the thing about the seals.
You don't want to see that. Yeah, we're not gonna talk. The seals. She kept telling me about these seals, y'all. I mean, since we're bringing it, I didn't bring it up, but she kept talking about these seals. I'm like, bro, there's seals at some beach,
La Jolla.
Yeah, and I'm like, so she kept talking about these seals all the whole trip. So I'm like, yo, she's like, yeah, we're gonna go to La Jolla. I'm like, all right, bet, I'm gonna see these seals. Never saw the seals.
It's because the day changed, and you and I spoke in the car for so long that it was too late to go to La Jolla, and then try to make it to Fire and Glory.
Guys, I chose to talk to her over seeing seals. I mean,
as he should.
Let it be known on the record.
As he should.
But now, when I got there, I got this Airbnb, and I had prayed about that Airbnb, and God just made it clear that it was my Airbnb to stay at. So I went, and in my room was something from Songs or Song of Solomon, right? And it was something along the lines of at last my soul has, at last I found the one who my soul loves, or something like that. And I was like, what? I think I took a picture of it, but I was just like, wait, what? That's kind of wild. Is that a sign? Everything with her was is that a sign? Guys, I had graduated past that whole this is a sign thing. This is this is a sign, because I used to be thinking that, I used to just be I feel like it's a sign, instead of asking, is this a sign? But
I know.
But I read Song of Songs that week and everything, and I was like, this is crazy. But there were so many things like that, and I ended up talking to the owner of the Airbnb. It was him and a girl, a guy and a girl. Me and the owner talked for a while. It felt like we kind of we had a little bit of a connection. It was cool. But later on, I asked him. I was like, hey man, are y'all what, tell me about that thing y'all have in there. And he's like, oh yeah, the girl, she just got that, she just found it on the side of the road, something like that, literally the day before type situation, and put it in that room.
I did not even know it was the day before.
It was something like that, they had just got it. And I was like, are y'all Christian? And he's like, I mean, I think maybe she's just a little bit. So it was why do you have that if you don't even believe? So it was just very cool. There was things we left, we went to In-N-Out Burger, which
at least I took him to In-N-Out.
She also tried to tell me Brad's overrated, and I was like,
it is overrated.
I was like, I have to eat it. I don't care.
I'd want to eat it if I go.
Yeah, I have to.
Every time I go, I think it's gonna be so bussing, and it's an average burger. And then I always feel weird afterward. It is good, but I always have to hook it up myself.
It was good. But when we were leaving the In-N-Out, then some lady just pulls up right at the front, and it said Proverbs 31 woman. And then we somehow end up talking to her.
What said Proverbs 31 woman?
Oh, sorry, her license plate in the front, because in Cali they got the front license plates. Rest in peace to the look of a car, because that doesn't really look too good. But
OMG.
But yeah, it said that, and then she was we started talking, and her name is the same name as her sister, which is Lily. And we're like, bruh, there was so many things. We was prophecies and words given at church. We went to a couple different churches. I was getting wrecked. I was on the ground, just literally crying uncontrollably, could not move. I don't think I cried like that since I was literally a toddler. And I probably hurt myself. I was toe up. I was like, bruh, this is honestly, this type of crying hurts, But yeah, it was just a lot of amazing things, and I had peace about going on that trip, because I knew, I was like, man, this really looks crazy right now, but I felt like God was go, and I know that I was supposed to go, especially with the words that God gave, and He gave a word for my family. Oh my gosh. And they recorded it because he knew I was not going to remember everything that God said.
Yeah, it's still on the stream on YouTube.
I recorded it. I saved it from the stream.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know what else to add.
Oh, wow.
Johnny, you have any more questions?
How are you feeling now that it's 3 days away? What's going on in your head?
This is great because my friend Kelsey and I just talked about this last night. She just told me to be super present. And I was sharing with her that I don't think, like, it hits me in these little waves. I just don't think it has hit me entirely quite yet like that, because he's just such my love that I'm just like, I already feel so connected to him, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I just think it's so cool that we're just going to make this legally official state, like, in the whole, like, world, but, like, in the United States.
The kingdom of heaven.
And it's so cool to do this under God, and, like, to be like, okay, God, you see us doing this, you know? So I feel, I don't know, I get these waves with, like, butterflies. I'm like, oh, like, I'm kind of nervous, you know, like, I'm nervous. But it's like a good nervous. It's like an excited. It's like, but then, like, I get so busy with the planning that I'm just like, I gotta plan. And then randomly I'll just be like, oh, I'm nervous. And then plan. So I just be going in, like, these, like, little waves.
Yo, that really is how it was.
But then to think, like, it's only 3 days away, babe. Like, I don't know. Like, I get so, like, right now, like, I'm so nervous. But I'm so excited.
Man, I just want to dance.
Right. And I told Juwan, like, I don't know, it was either today or yesterday, but I'm like, one of the things that I am just nervous about is trying to memorize all the choreo. Like, our first dance choreo, Fusion Squad choreo, me and my dad's choreo.
Oh, I was telling Joan, I showed my mom a little bit of the choreo y'all been working on.
What'd she say?
She was like, wow, baila bien bonito esa.
Esa Ana. That's sweet.
You know, I'm just over here. I'm just kidding. That was facts. Like, you definitely.
Because unfortunately, they won't make it, so.
Oh.
But my brother will.
Tell him to just send
all
a
black.
gift.
I mean, actually, though, I think they were thinking about this.
Maybe, Johnny, maybe you can record our first dance in horizontal mode.
Okay. I'll be down for that. I'll bring my gimbal.
That'd be fire. We're going to be all over the place.
I'd be like, I'm supposed to be here. Move out of. Like, that's one thing that I think cameramen, like, in weddings have, like, privilege. Like, yeah, I can get in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm allowed to block your view.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, it's true, yeah.
I'm just like, dang, yeah.
That's funny. I've been that person when a camera person's in front of me. Yeah. I will just crouch right next to them or something. Because I'm like, they're not about to block me from what I'm watching. Like, no. And I'll scooch over too, respectfully.
I'm curious, though. Do you guys want me to just record it, like, just staying still? Or do you guys want me to move around?
I want you to move around with this. Okay. Just
then,
not the super high.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Should we let him, like,
show me so I can know what...
Should we do it outside in the rain?
Outside in the rain?
Yes!
We just do it at the venue.
And that is real life relationships, ladies and gentlemen. Disappointment sometimes.
Nah, we not.
Because we ain't perfect.
It's not raining, but you can just mark it for him.
No, I meant, like, I would like to have the camera to actually see it. Like, it would be best to be in the venue.
Well, when we stop the podcast, no one's on the same page with me.
We start the podcast.
Because I'm thinking also, when we get to the venue, we're gonna need to. Guys, this is dancers. If you're a dancer and you're watching, you get where we're coming from. You know, let us know in the comments. But literally,
you do it so good, babe.
Literally, like, we gotta make sure we know the area, know the space, and all that good stuff. So
especially after Johnny, that's good. Especially after all the tables are set up. That was so cool, Johnny.
Yeah, because
thank you.
Yeah, guys, we don't even know.
I don't even know.
I might just take away
3 days away.
I might just take away some tables and just have the men put them back when it's time to eat. Cause
wow.
Yeah, we want that dance space.
Well, that's that tan line there. That's wild. I'm sorry that caught me off guard. That's pale.
Welcome to Logged Off Podcast.
Logged Off Podcast. We're logged out of the norm.
Yep.
We're different.
Okay. Okay.
Are there any more questions, Jenny?
Questions.
Answers or concerns?
Concerns.
Questions. No,
right.
Wait. How do you say questions? Comments or concerns?
So you guys are you guys ready to commit to what you don't know about each other?
Yeah. Because we're not going to be the same people in the next 5 years.
I do see growth in both of y'all, so that's a good sign.
Praise God.
Mm-hmm. I've seen Juwan grow more patient.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. He's very patient with me. He's very patient. And I with him. But yeah, I'm excited to. I mean, I was just telling him the other day that with God, he's just, this is what he does. But everything always just kind of feels so unknown. And it's just like, I'm just riding the wave with God until God, like, allows me to see what's going on, or allows me, or shows me this revelation about this or whatever. I don't actually know what's going on. I just know that God has good and God has the best for me, and that there are things that God has like shown me, like, this is gonna happen in my life, and I just don't know how it's gonna happen, whatever. But because I know that Juwan's supposed to be my husband, I'm just riding that wave of, like, I have no clue what's gonna happen in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 90, until God comes back, until death do his part. But, like, I'm excited to just go through the whole journey.
He comes back the evening of your wedding.
Okay, let's not. That's what we're not doing.
I mean, it could be right now, fam.
That's what we're not doing. But yeah.
Isn't that so funny as Christians, and I mean real Christians, right?
I'm talking about the real Christians.
It's the fact that is gonna happen to some couple, like a couple.
I know.
Like, they're gonna get married.
That's so wild.
And they're gonna get back to their house or wherever they're gonna be. And they're about to consummate the marriage, and they're, like, so excited, and then they're gonna hear the trumpet and be like,
but they're gonna be way more lit about the trumpet sounding than consummating a marriage.
If you're Christian, yes.
if you're a real Christian,
if you're a real disciple of Jesus,
if you're a real one.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I feel like even as a real Christian, you can be like, dang, like,
dang, but I.
Dang, but I, like, all right. I mean, no more pain from now on.
Right?
Supposedly that's not gonna happen in heaven, at least. Maybe in the new earth, maybe.
Why would someone else need to be up here?
There's offices, connections here, like in that building. Wow.
Yo, I wish we could have filmed how they parked, though. They just did, like,
the most.
Yeah. We can recreate it for the YouTube. I'll just mimic what they did.
Excuse me.
Guys, this is how they try to.
It is 47 though, so I don't know if you. You said you work at 11.
We got time.
Isn't it like 10:50 though?
We got time.
Oh, bet.
It's okay. But
It's 10:41.
Oh, it is. Bet.
You know what's funny that I was thinking? I was like, I remember I told you guys that and this involves that one
parking,
girl, right?
I'm so sorry, but they're still parking. Like, just saying.
Oh, snap. There you go. You finally did it. Have you seen those videos of this guy? Like, they perfectly park, but then they go back out because they think they messed up, and then they mess up even more. I was like, imagine if this person did that. That'd be funny.
That's funny.
Anyways,
Which one, girl? You can just edit it out, right?
Oh yeah. So you know.
When we start,
Why is he so nervous? He's like, yeah, you're right. I can edit it.
When we start live streaming, we can.
Right.
I'm about to catch all the signals.
Nah, it's so. You were telling me the other day that you were trying to invite thing in August, right?
The dance performance.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Morales.
Yes.
So I told you that if God doesn't want it to be a thing, the next time we have to come all together, something will happen where she can't make it, right?
Right.
So she has to call out to your wedding. I'm just gonna, it's like, sorry, it's just God's plan. I'm just saying. I just thought it was funny.
Wait, what? I missed it. Darn it. Wait, she has to say something at the wedding?
No, she would have to flake from it.
Because
that was the thing. Because I was like, it's been 2 instances where, like, we could have all met up, and it didn't happen. So I'm like, okay, Lord, the next time, if it happens again, I just know I gotta cool it. But then, the Lord was like, do you have to wait for that 3rd time though? And I was like,
she's not. But she's not gonna flake from the wedding. No,
but that's what I'm saying. It'd be funny. Because then it's like, oops, yeah. Sorry, Anna.
He said, oops. You know why?
Ask the Lord.
You know why? Because her mom appointed her to be. Oh, wait. Well, then this will be too obvious. Everyone will know. Well, I feel like
we can cut. Okay.
If she ever watches this.
All right, we're starting now. Now you can say what you wanted to say. This individual with this other individual.
This individual's mother has appointed this individual to
this other
be
individual.
the one to even open the door for us to even get in and to like help decorate and all this stuff.
I don't care, bro. She can know. You're pretty. You know, you're pretty and you're on fire for God. It caught my attention. This is logged off. We're logged off from the fake. Ain't that right, Juwan?
Ain't
that right? Nah, but
please dap him up.
I need it. Nah, but I mean, God really said like,
let's normalize.
You need to calm down, honestly. Fam. And I was like, all right, I'll calm down. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it'd be funny if it does.
Man,
but she's not.
Yeah. She's gonna be there.
She's gonna be there.
Because if not, Johnny's gonna be the one who's gonna figure it out. He gonna figure out decoration.
I'll open the door. Don't worry about it.
I don't know how, but Johnny's gonna figure it out.
He said, "Don't worry about it."
I'll make Sadiel open the door.
Huh?
How about that? I'll make Sadiel open the door.
Sadiel, yeah, do it.
Every eldest sibling.
Sadiel will figure it out.
Sadiel, solo abre la puerta. He'd be like,
okay, hermano.
But how?
Okay,
but figure it out.
Figure it out. Open it in such a way that it just, brings light to Juwan and Anna's.
Look, man, if you need a crowbar, here's a crowbar, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Open the door.
Oh, speaking of, just real quick, we have to bring the check on our wedding day.
Absolutely. I thought about that the other day.
Talk about how y'all about to have a whole month honeymoon.
Hey Siri, hold on real quick. Hey Siri, remind me in 1 hour to get a check for Mama Portia. Holland Creek.
We got rounds on deck, you know what it is.
All right. So,
what was he saying? What were you saying?
I thought of a skit of like this, like, since there's like, there's spiritual warfare going on. I just think it'd be funny if we'd like have just a short clip of like us gearing up. And we put on a helmet and it's like salvation. We put on a breastplate, righteousness, and we have a shield, faith. And then we grab our guns, and then we grab our mag, right? And our mag just says the Bible, and as we're reloading, each bullet has like a different Bible verse. Like,
oh, that's good.
against like Satan and his workers or whatnot.
That'd
and
be
just
lit.
click, and then we just go out and war.
That's a good skit.
Yeah. Or we can do the katana thing that I was talking about.
Katana wins.
A katana that has Bible verses engraved, because it's like
What's a
his
katana?
word is the sword.
A sword. A Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese style sword.
It's funny because
nice.
like
I like that, Johnny. Cool.
I always wanted a sword that said something like that, like the word, or like
I definitely
or like
want that.
You have
sword of the spirit, something like that, or
That could
that's
be,
what I thought.
That can be our merch, bro.
Yeah.
I 3D print them, and we sell them. So hey, get this 3D printed. This the word of God sword or whatever.
Costs $1,000 because it takes 3 days to 3D print.
Not even. It'll probably $80 to $95.
He's like, not even on it. It's 90 days.
On discount for 90% off.
90% off.
Only $80.
I mean, he wants to ask about this month-long honeymoon.
Oh yeah, I was just like, dang, like, what y'all plan to do?
That's a good question.
That's a long time, man.
No, it's not, Johnny. No, it's not.
No, we'll have the rest of y'all lives, okay? Like, a month is a long... Well, okay, according to how a lot of people do that.
You're going to be MIA for a month. You're still going to see us, Johnny, all the rehearsals.
No, I know.
Okay.
That's what I thought, too. I'm just like, they better make it to the rehearsals, because...
Yeah, we try to get
paid.
That's kind of my heart. And yeah.
No, but we're doing this unto the Lord.
Amen. And we try to get paid.
It is unto the Lord.
It's unto the Lord. The Lord will bless us with.
We definitely have way other opportunities that can definitely pay more money, but this is gonna be like a fun thing to do together that honors the Lord. So.
Amen.
So if you ever have a gig, Anna, you gotta contact my agent, Ghost the Entertainer, and you can discuss payment methods with him.
Oh my! Is that really how it'll work?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially,
yeah, he's my agent now. Like, if you want to hire me for something, you gotta ask him. All he really is
it because you signed the contract?
Yeah.
No. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind. I'll help a brother out with his business,
But yeah, we don't really know what to expect. I mean, we just know that
we want to go to Puerto Rico.
We're gonna be married.
Y'all better praise and worship.
So.
I'm gonna keep y'all accountable. Like, I know y'all having fun, but y'all better have fun with the Lord.
Amen. No, amen.
Yeah.
Amen. That's good.
You know what's cool?
But-
Y'all worshiping before you get married, and then after you get married. This is dope. I can't
throughout-
wait for my turn. 2 to 3 years.
3
Actually, it'd be
years?
more than that. It'd be like 4 to 5 years.
Or whenever God
If-
says.
If even, you know.
2 to 3 years.
You know that Johnny's
child
doing
make you
the
proud.
contrast color of this? So it actually kind of worked out today.
But yeah, like
How do you...
yeah, we're just excited to just
I'm excited.
have
for y'all.
time to not have to stress, because you
know
don't want to enter into that part of your life stressed.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's good to like have time to like plan things out and figure out what's what. Like we've been having to just get stuff situated. Like I think the first day that we'll be married, our sofa's gonna come. And our vacuum. Wait, our vacuum might come today.
I love how you guys are excited for a vacuum.
Yo,
I would
I'm
be too.
actually
Man,
very
we lit.
excited.
Is it
What?
one of those like stick ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, those are so cool.
He's
I
a-
always thought.
Yo,
they
and
were-
then this
I
is
always
the
thought
air
of-
fryer microwave combo that we're gonna get.
Microwave air fryer, so I can still microwave my hot coffees.
Yeah,
And make some
Um,
bomb fried chicken, bruh. Air
Yeah.
fried chicken is like the best.
I'll put the link. We'll put the link in the
Well, you guys.
in the bottom. It'll be affiliate link.
Affiliate
You know what
link.
I'm
I was
saying?
gonna say that.
Help
too.
us out. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna buy it anyway, I mean,
Right, like help us out.
Like,
We'll put our Cash App, Venmo. What are the other applications that they use?
Zelle.
Zelle,
PayPal.
PayPal, man,
Direct
y'all-
banking.
Y'all need money, huh?
wire transfer.
Money
mail
orders.
in- money order.
Checks.
Mail in. You can just mail
To a
in some
P.O. box.
Cash.
Crypto,
Bitcoin.
preferably Bitcoin. Gold, silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
Horses.
Prayers.
No, I'm joking.
I mean,
Wow.
I'll take a horse.
I
Just
take
make
a
sure
horse.
it's not in the back. Just make sure it's not in the back. Okay.
I'm excited for a month-long honeymoon. I'm excited to say deuces to everyone and just...
Wow, really?
Yeah, bye, Johnny. No, I'm joking.
I do think that there is a part of my flesh that's like, are we gonna like I feel like halfway through I'm gonna just be like, alright, I'm gonna work on something now. You know what I mean? But like I know that that's probably not gonna happen. It's just a fleshly like, because one thing that we're working on is like not stressing, right? It's like the word says, it's like, hey, look at the birds, look at the flowers, like, you know, like don't freak out. And like there's a part of the both of us that, you know, we want to like feel like we're doing our part, which you should do your part, but you just got to realize that it's like a little kid, like when a little kid does something with their parents, usually it's the parent doing it, but the participation of the kid is what almost acts as the catalyst. You know what I mean? So it's like that. I remember, I can't remember who it was, but there was a video I saw where a guy was saying that his son was like trying to help his dad move like a desk or something like that, or like a filing cabinet, and his dad was like, "You can do it," but he could not. Like, but then his dad was like while he was pushing, he just reached over in a way where he couldn't see it and starts pushing it, and the son's like, "I'm moving it, Dad. I'm moving it," and he's like moving it, but it's like that's really what God does with us. He's just like think about it.
That's
Like I
good.
always think about this, bro. Why did God say, Moses, lift up your staff and split the Red Sea? Moses didn't do
No,
nothing.
he didn't do nothing.
Right.
He was that kid pushing the thing.
Yeah.
Dad,
Wow,
I
that's
did
a
it.
great tie-in, bro.
So
Because that's exactly what it is. You know, people, they fast, they do these things, they try to make God move, and it's like, no, you can't. He does what he believes is best. You know, he'll give you the idea that you're doing something, and that's just because God is the God who blesses.
yeah,
He blesses people. Yeah.
he likes to work with us. You know,
Right. It's like
I try not to use the word use, but that's like what we're learning. So this is gonna be a good. I think that the month is in order because it's important. We've been really grinding, like her and I have been
Right.
grinding up until this point,
Right.
and we don't need to be in the season burnt out. We need to come in refreshed and understand that this is a new season and come in ready to like to run, you know, like a gazelle, as they say in the word, you know? I'm going to leap forward like a gazelle. I'm going to roar like a lion. You know, I'm going to crouch down to get my prey, as they say. I'm thinking about the blessings that Jacob gave to his children.
The guy who was awkwardly parking now moved to another parking spot. Why?
It might be time to dip. You got 5 minutes anyway.
Anyways, this has been great. You won't see them. Well, next time you see another video from us, it'd be like a month. But it won't be a month to you guys, but it'd be a month to us. You know, it's funny because I'm going to be posting all these videos while you're gone, and it's like...
God, do that. Do one a week.
They're all, like, 3 to 4 months apart.
And I'll just... see y'all in 3 months.
Wait, has it been that long?
Nah, I mean, from
like
the first video wasn't...
Like
first
5 months.
The first video was in October, bro.
Yeah, that's like...
That's a long time.
That's 5 months.
And then from there, we did 2 audio recordings. And then we did the one at the Halcyon store. And we did one yesterday. And did
yeah, no more audio recordings. Only like dual format.
Because, like, I'm not going to lie. We were eating one of them. And you can clearly hear her chewing. And it just sounds weird when there's, like, no visual. Like if you see someone eating, all right, it makes sense. But if you just, like...
Ew.
Like, yeah, it's a little like, have grace on us, y'all. Have grace, please.
Thank you for joining the Logged Off podcast today. I hope everyone has a great day.
ASMR.
Ow.
May God shine his
If that
face
hurt y'all's
upon
ear,
you.
just know it hurt my ear.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wait, say what?
Sana sana colito
They
rana
heard it.
sino sano sanara mañana. Next time you guys are on, y'all will be married.
I'm gonna be a Mrs.
I'm gonna have one
Shields.
on my finger.
And he's still gonna be a
Cause
mister.
you see how the men gotta wait. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Understand that you gotta wait.
It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy.
He's gonna be like, oh,
Oh, jeez, Jack.
No, that would be anyone. If anyone else even tried to hold my ring, that's how it'd be. Cause it's like Thor's hammer type
yeah,
situation.
absolutely.
Except for mine,
Point
not even
Period.
Captain America could pick it up. Just
Nah.
yeah.
But look how beautiful this looks.
It's really nice.
It's just a nice.
It's a really nice ring.
item to know that I am taken under the covenant of God.
It's all love. All right, you guys have a good day. We're logging out.
There you go. No.
Goodbye, everybody.
Siéntate.
Siéntate.
Oh, you want me to end it?
Sure. My brother was like, oh, they're getting married? Dang. They're about to have some kids.
Oh, relax.
in
relax.
the future.
Everybody in the car, relax.
He was like, oh, man, they're about to have some kids. I'm like, what are you talking
the
about?
future, bro.
He's already thinking about, like, I'm going to be an uncle.